Just a small recap on the materials. Maybe I went too fast on that side. We have the sphere material that's reading the CD and it's using it to change the reflection color and reflection weight. We have the texture UV mapped one, which is used in the roughness and also in the bump of the coat and also the first layer of weight of reflection. Then we have the texture mask, which is the emission and then emission material. In the metal of the prim, we read the CD of the primitive and plug it into reflection color and desaturate it to 0.3. Then we read also the alpha and we plug it into a ramp, and then we use it as an opacity color. In the prim emission, we just have a color constant with an emission. This is really easy. As you can see, there's the edge of the primitive are emissive, and there's the lines where we have the CD, which is multiplied with the color constant, and then we just change the hue to a more yellow or orange one. But also in the ramp, we have a very white center, and then it fades out to darker color. So let's set up the lights. To do so, I would like to go into the sphere and just use the normal sphere. Also for the camera, I think it's maybe too close. So let's go here and change the camera. Yeah, something like this. And remember that we also added a rotation. So I would like to see where the sphere closes. We can do that by going again into the switch node and just switch this to 0. So let's see, around 140 it should close. I would like to just use the sphere. So as you can see, it's closing on the left side. So then I can just rotate the camera and have it close over here. Then before starting the render again, I would like to view the background and maybe just rotate it a bit. Yeah, so let's say it starts here, and then we can animate the camera so it rotates to the right. So this would be the dome light, and I think it's too powerful for now. Let's hit save again and then just start the render. Okay, so definitely the background is too bright. Let's enable the background as well, and yeah, I will just go here to exposure and set minus 1.5 maybe. Okay, and now I would like also to enable the depth of field because it helps me to see better what's happening in the background. And also in the sampling, I would say 0.4 maybe. So now the sphere is really isolated from the background. What I can also do, this is a small trick, I can duplicate this and have this only be the background. So in the dome light we don't see the background, but in the background light we just see the background and it's not affecting the sphere. So I just put everything to 0, and then this is just like a backplate and it doesn't light up and doesn't do anything to the scene. So now I can just, tweak the exposure of it even more without changing the light into the scene. This is a small trick. Also, what I can do to prepare it for the AOVs is here in the light group, just type background light. This is a group for this light, and it will render as a separate pass. And also what I can do temporarily is just rename this, put another R or something in the end and switch this to 1. So now if I refresh the render, I just see the sphere because those two prims and lines have other names. So now I just see how the sphere is lit, and maybe we go even lower, maybe something like this. So now we should add a few more lights. I would like to have maybe a ring light in front and some top and maybe left, right or something. Also, what I can do right now, because the background is separated from the dome light, I can rotate the dome light independently and move the highlights. You see how this highlight moves. and also maybe crank it down even more, 2.5 maybe. Yeah, something like this, so we don't have, you know, burned areas around here. And now what I would like is to create a redshift light. There's a really nice trick that we can do. Let's say this is a front light. We can edit the shader of the light if we go to allow editing of context. And before doing that, I just need to see exactly where this light is. And also I want the camera to be fixed. So then I say here, I select cam 1. And now I can just drag this light. And of course it's on the other side. So if I have a top view, I can see where the camera is. Let's move it around here. And of course make it bigger. Just middle click and make this bigger. So you see now it's straight from the camera angle and it's illuminating the sphere. And what I can do is go inside the light. Of course, first we can tone it down quite a lot, make it a disk, and inside the light I can find a shop network, which it's similar to material network. It's just an older way of doing materials. So I go inside here, and inside the redshift, you see there's actually a redshift material for the light. So here I can go with a ramp and plug it into the intensity. Here I select UV map because the light has a UV map, and this would be circular. So now I just need to go back and maybe crank out the exposure just to see something. And inside here I can create a ring light from a gradient. So to do that I can just put another black color here. Maybe this needs to be radial. Okay. Yeah, so I think there's an issue here. I just need to do something, just to take this light and rotate it 90 degrees and scale it down so I see exactly what it does. So it's not really a ring light right now. Let's go inside here and tweak this even more. Yeah, so this is more like a ring light. Now I just need to move it back. Of course I can just keep it here and just disable the visibility to see what it's doing. You see the ring effect here, so I think this is really nice. I can tweak it down a bit. Also, if I go inside the shader, yeah, maybe go to the roughness and make it more reflective. Yeah, something like that. And also for the emission, I would like the Fresnel to be smaller, so we just have some emission on the edges. Okay, and now this is the front light. I can also make this orange. So then we just duplicate this. I reset the transforms so it's again in the middle. Yeah, what I can do is to disable the background so I can move the lights more easily. So the front light, I just rotate and make it a top light, something like this. Yeah, actually this is the bottom light, but we need the bottom light also. So let's say this should be a rectangle, and of course not so big. So we just tweak it out a bit, and of course we need to go inside and change the ramp to be just a normal fall off, something like this. So this is acting more like you see a fall off softbox. So it doesn't, if I erase this, you see it's just a standard light, so it doesn't have any fall off. This is not real, so this adds just a bit of detail and it's really very controllable. Okay, I can just tone it down even more. Now I can duplicate this and say top light. So you see it has this highlight over here, and just make it brighter. And of course it needs to be way longer. So we have the highlight from here up to here, maybe like this. And you see now we have a nice highlight and rim light over the sphere. Yeah, so I think this is the lighting part. Of course we can add 10 lights over here. I think in the image that I rendered previously, there were another light on the left side and something on the right, but I think this looks pretty nice already. So we can leave it as it is. Let's go over to animate the camera and then set up the AOVs.